everybody. It is Thursday. How are you tonight? Welcome to Thursday night. Tell me about your day. I want to know what's happening. Let's hear it. Tell me about it. What are you grateful for this Thursday night live? Thursday night. Almost done with week 55, 56. I'm just passing on through this week. We're just rolling on through it. Yes, we are. Hey, Adele. Great to have you and Dazzle here. It's treat time, Dazzle. That's what I'm telling you. Curl up with a good treat. That's what I'm saying. Get right to it. What are you all grateful for this Thursday night? Another beautiful day here in New England. Another nice day. When I was out in the car this afternoon, it said 71, 72, I think, at one point, which was nice to see. Nice to see that. I do like the nicer weather. Supposedly some rain is coming our way this weekend. Yeah, her and Max can agree with treats, although Maxwell thinks that chicken is right up there, and we had steak quesadillas tonight, and he was willing and able to get excited over that. He wants to show that he's flexible. He wants to show that he is flexible. Yeah, that's the rain that we're supposed to get in a couple days, I guess. You and Kitty got rain, and then I think Saturday maybe we get rain. I don't know. I try not to watch those guys. They're wrong a lot. I just show up here. I get all the weather I need when I show up here. All the weather I need. I know what's coming. It is like looking into my future. I'm Alice looking in the looking glass or something. Hey, Kitty, how are you? Great to have you here tonight. How are things in Illinois? What are you guys grateful for tonight on this Thursday night? The 8th of April. April 8th, people. Just flying here. We're almost a third of the way through the month already. Almost a third of the way through. Hey, Rose, that is great news that not only another great sales day, but that you had customers come in again, vaccinated, getting the shots. And proud of it, and that they're returning to their happy place. You got to keep in mind that when they return to your store, they are returning to their happy place. They got their shot, and the first place they want to go is your store. Cool, windy, and wet. Yuck. But I do like the good sales day part, Kitty. I do like that. But I know that cool, windy, and wet is coming my way. Cool, windy, and wet. They say April showers bring May flowers. And keep in mind, we've all seen it before when it's been April snow showers. So I'm thankful for the rain. I am thankful for the rain. The rain is a good thing. Feed Nana's flowers. Feed the plants. Well, let's get started tonight because I got a lot for you tonight. So let's get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is where we start this program every night. Tonight, we're on page 58 if you're following along in the book. Good morning. Take a breath. Then another. Repeat. Move at your pace. You got this. Boom. You got this. Yes, you do. Let's see what we got going on here tonight. We got a lot going on tonight. It is with tonight's really, like I promised, mostly an SBA night. We got a lot to cover. Lot of posts already scheduled to go up tonight. I've been playing. I know what you guys feel like when you're trying to do that graphic or that email or whatever. As I was trying to make graphics work and email letters work and everything else today so that I'd have examples to load up for you. I am not I like graphics and things, but creating them is not my style. Normal is, our quote from Simon tonight is, normal is what the majority does, which is why different is so much more interesting. Normal is what the majority does, which is why different is so much more interesting. Boom, there is your quote from Simon. Hey, Jennifer, great to have you here tonight. Great to have you here. Okay, trying to keep my pile straight here tonight. Okay, I am hopping right into SBA land. I know that has been a hot topic this week. It has had my email and phone and everything else going off the hook. So that is where we're spending our night tonight. Cassandra, thank you for posting that in the Facebook group. If you have any technical issues, you can hop right on over to the YouTube. If the Facebook's giving you any issues, we are streaming on both YouTube and Facebook Live tonight. And the SBA is our topic tonight. Every which way but loose tonight, the SBA is our topic. Every which way but Sunday? I don't know. We got a lot of SBA topics. So let's get to it. Okay, so what is the SBA? Hey, Gwen, great to have you here live. It's been a while since I've seen you here live. Great to have you here live tonight on SBA night. This night is brought to you by the letters S, B, and A. So there is so much happening with email boxes getting stuff with real stuff and fake stuff at the same time. It's really hard to figure out what is real and what isn't. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about that. And I have examples of what is real and what isn't. Okay, so first let's talk about the EIDL Advance. The EIDL Advance is the advance that you could have gotten originally. Hey, yoga, Kelly, and I'm doing my tree and my, forget it. Forget it. I got nothing here, Kelly. I got nothing. I got no yoga, no downward dogs here tonight. No downward dogs, but I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad to have you here. So the first part of the SBA we're going to talk about is the EIDL Advance. The EIDL Advance. Okay, the targeted EIDL Advance. Originally, last year, when you got the EIDL, you were eligible. You may have received already in advance, money that was supposed to come in advance of your actual EIDL loan, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. And that was supposed to be up to $10,000 based on $1,000 per employee. And some companies got nothing. Other companies got a couple $1,000. Other companies got the whole $10,000. That was also supposed to have to be paid. It was a grant unless you got a PPP. And if it was a PPP, you were going to have to pay it back. Then Congress changed the rules and said, if you got a PPP, you got to keep it. And we're going to fund it so you give people that didn't get it this advance, and so that you make it up so that it was the $10,000 that it was intended to be. It was supposed to be $10,000 regardless of the number of employees. So the SBA is now in the process of going back to people who got something, who got a couple $1,000, and they're in the process of going back to those people and saying, hey, you got a couple $1,000, you're eligible to get up to $10,000. Click here for more information about your application. So how do you know if you got a real letter from the SBA about that? Because there's the fakes are looking really, really fake. I mean, are looking really, really good. Excuse me. Let's find a real one here. Hang on a second. I have an example for that. If you get invited for this, okay, first of all, you have to be in an SBA targeted low income area to be initially eligible. You will get a letter from the SBA that looks like this. And this example, so I know some of you are staring in really close at the screen right now. This example will go up in NART's private Facebook page within the hour. It will go up in the NART's private Facebook page within the hour. And you're going to get to keep your money. I know you already got your money, Kitty, because you got it back from your PPP. You will get this email, okay, from the SBA. It'll start out, invitation to submit COVID-19 targeted EIDL Advance application. It will actually have, this will come via email. It will actually have your loan application number on it. Yes, your loan application number on it. So if it is not the application number that you did with your loan, it's a fake letter. Okay, it will have your application number on it. What's more is it will say, Dear Gwen, Dear Kitty, Dear Kelly. It will have your actual name on it. Okay? Businesses that meet the criteria. You must be in a low-income community on the SBA map. You must have suffered an economic loss greater than 30% as demonstrated by an 8-week period starting anytime after March 2nd compared to the previous year. You must have 300 or fewer employees. You have to meet that criteria to do it. Okay? This isn't for most of you a high burden. What you think is a low income area or a high income area typically isn't. You know, there are much more low income areas as defined by the SBA as part of this, and it's defined by Congress than you would think. And it will have it will have a link. So on page 2 of it, there will be a link that will take you directly to your SBA EIDL application, which will already be pre-populated with most of the things you filled in already, including banking information and other things that you submitted on your original economic injury disaster loan. It will not be asking you for those things. You know, it will start out with your application number right up there, right up there. So it will have all of this right there for you. If it does not have that, it is fake. If you are unsure if it is real or fake, send it to me. I will take a look at it with you. I have the tech tools to run the links through to see if it's legit or not. The fakes are really, really good, okay? And they're really good even more because you're looking for these rays of hope. There's additional grant opportunities. You're looking for these rays of hope, and there are rays of hope out there. I don't want to diminish that, but there is a lot of fake stuff out there. There is a lot of fake stuff out there, and so you know, you have to understand that. But this letter about the EIDL Advance will absolutely have this. And you can see this example will go up in the NART's private Facebook group and over at narts.org/resalestrong by noon tomorrow. So you can count on that. That'll be there for you to look at. Bug in here somewhere. That's for the EIDL Advance. Okay. And if you had already gotten part of it, this will take you up to $10,000. It'll go, if you got $2,000, you'll go from $2,000, you'll get an additional $8,000. Okay, as a grant. Now I want to skip to one that is fake. I want to move to one that is fake. Okay, this letter from the Small Business Administration is a fake one. It is a really good fake. It even has unsubscribe links and everything. They did a really nice job with this one. This is a fake letter. Okay, it is not addressed to you personally. It sounds caring and considerate. We know you're facing challenging times, and the U.S. Small Business Administration is committed to helping bring relief for small businesses. And asks you, if you wish to apply for the advance on the EIDL, please visit, and it gives you this link, which the way they write it is a legitimate SBA link. It says to go to sba.gov/disaster as soon as possible to fill out the new streamlined application in order to qualify for the advance. You'll need to fill out this new application even if you previously submitted an EIDL application. Applying for the advance will not impact the status or slow your existing application. And we encourage you to subscribe to our email updates. And what it says is it'll take you to sba.gov/updates, or follow us on Twitter. This all sounds legit because the way it typed. But the links go to completely fake sites that are just there to steal you and your business's information and steal your checking account and banking information. It is all there to hijack your information and steal your stuff. Completely fake. Looks completely legit. Looks completely legitimate. Sounds legitimate, okay? You know there's stuff about the advance out there. I've talked about it. But completely fake. This email would bring you nothing but heartache. You would wake up one morning to $0 in your bank account. I mean, they will have siphoned everything from you. So completely fake email. That also, this example of fake will go up in narts.org/resale strong by noon tomorrow. It'll be in the Narts private Facebook page in the hour. It'll be there. The other email, moving on to email number 3. Email number 3. This email, also completely legitimate from our friends at the SBA. This one is completely legitimate. Says you received an EIDL previously. You received an economic injury disaster loan, and these loans were previously limited to 6 months of economic injury up to a maximum of $150,000. $150,000. The SBA is now allowing those loans to go up to $500,000 or 24 months of economic injury. 24 months of economic injury. And so you are able to do that. So let's talk about this one. This example will also be up at narts.org of a completely legitimate letter. It does not reference your loan amount. It does not reference your loan number, and it is not addressed individually to you. It is not addressed, but the links that take you from it tells you that it will not ask you for anything. The link to apply for an increase to your economic injury disaster loan. The only information you have to provide is your loan number, the increase you're requesting, and your business name, address, owner's names, and phone number. You don't have to include any financial documents, any account information, nothing. You will be contacted by the SBA to follow up on that. You don't have to add any of that. You don't have to give any of that. It's not asking for your bank account number. It's not asking for your mother's maiden name. It's not asking for your first girlfriend's brother, sister who ate ice cream at Baskin and Robbins' name. Okay? Not asking for any of that. Okay? Just very direct, simple information that would not affect anything. Increase your EIDL. But the real issue, and I've had this with a lot of you today, is how do I know if I should get more money? Should I take a bigger EIDL? And let's not forget, this economic injury disaster loan, EIDL, is a loan. It is a loan. people, you will have to pay this back. On loans taken last year, they are deferred for 24 months from when you first got it. So the first payments are due in 2022. Okay? But interest is accruing during this. Interest is accruing. And you have to pay interest. It's 3.75% interest. Okay? And it's a 30-year loan. Okay? Loan. Well, I'll be dead in 30 years. Well, I'm not dealing with that side of it. What the heck happened to Facebook? I'm going to try to go back on Facebook. Facebook just died on me. I'm still here on I'm gonna try to go back here. Hang on a second. I'm gonna try to restart Facebook because Facebook just boom reset on me. Let's see if we can get back over there. Hang on one second, folks. I know some of you are watching on the YouTube, and I'm gonna try to get back on Facebook. Hang on one second here. We'll see if we can get back. It is not letting me get a video back on Facebook. Hang on a second. What the heck? Like I've exceeded their live video feed. I know many of you are still here with me on YouTube, so that is great. Facebook is just really weird. I was trying to get it back on there because of what we're covering here. Hang on one second. I will play with it for one more second, and then I'll just continue on, and anybody that wants it can continue catch us over here on the YouTube. Okay, I think I finally got it to go live here back on Facebook. Okay, so we're on Facebook again, and we're on YouTube. So I don't control Facebook. Again, a good reason to have multi-platform and direct people to things you have or other media, because you don't own Facebook. So I'm glad I'm here. So glad to have you all here. So again, the economic injury disaster loan, the EIDL loan, is a 30-year loan at 3.75% interest. So should you take more money? That's the big question. Should you take more money? Hey, Kelly's here, Rose is here. People are on both again, so this is good. Okay, so let's start with things. So first of all, this is a loan. Okay, don't forget that. You got to make payments on it. Even though payments don't start for another year, you have to make payments on it. Okay, it is just that. It is a loan. You know, this isn't party money. This isn't refinance other debt money. The uses of it are, the true uses of it are for business expenses. It's not money to go out and buy a boat. You could never buy a boat during this. Okay? There was never an opportunity to go buy a boat. Okay? That was never an option to buy a boat or a land boat. Okay? But there are options to help your business. So let's talk about the terms of the loan. If the loan is over $25,000 in total, they will file a lien on your business assets for it. If a UCC claim against the business for it, so like a lien on the business for the amount that you owe the SBA. If the amount is over $200,000, okay, you will have to give a personal guarantee. And if it's over $500,000, it has to be secured by assets, okay, like a building or other assets. The SBA will look at other assets that it can try to secure and put separate liens on. That's the loan itself, okay? So understand that. Understand that it's an effect on your future cash flow, that your loan payments, okay, are roughly $125 per $25,000 borrowed. $125 a month for 30 years, okay, for every $25,000 you borrow. Okay. So a $100,000 loan is about $500 a month monthly payment. A $200,000 loan is about $1,000 a month. That's the math, including interest. That's your payment. So I've got some of you, and there is a broad mix here. We are all in this, getting to the other side, but not all of us are in the same place. Some of us have had real drains on our cash at different times and have had to really dip into the EIDL and have used it all. That's okay. That's okay. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. This was insurance to keep you standing. I've said all along, we don't know when the pandemic is over, and we still don't. You got to keep in mind, parts of Canada, Ontario, Toronto area are going through a third lockdown. A third lockdown, and that's not that far from here. Okay, I've driven to Ontario. It is not that far. Okay, Canada is not that far, and they're going through their third lockdown. Could we go through another lockdown? I sure hope not. I think we're headed in the right direction, but I don't know. Which is why I've advised that the EIDL is just that. It's a cash cushion. It's insurance. So if you're holding your own right now, but maybe you've used your EIDL, but you don't have that extra cushion there, taking a little more might be a good idea. Okay, I'm advising not more, in a general sense, not more than the $200,000, because then you have to give a personal guarantee. But if you need a little bit more, that's okay, and it's okay to have a cushion. It's okay to be able to sleep okay at night. If taking a bigger EIDL helps you sleep, I'm okay with that. I want you to sleep okay. I want you to get the other side of this. But if you're taking more, okay, the one thing I want you to know, and I want you to know it monthly since last year, the one thing I want you to be able to tell me, if we are on the phone, I want you to be able to tell me your monthly cash burn rate by month. What is my monthly cash burn rate? You hear burn rate a lot with internet companies because they're always blowing through venture capital money. Okay, they're great spenders of other people's money. And you know that in the resale business with people that are looking at like the Real, for example, has burned through lots of venture capital. Poshmark and the others, Mercari, all of them are burning through venture capital money. Okay, that is what they are burning through. That is what they have. They don't have real cash. They aren't generating money to sustain their operations. Okay, if that venture capital money stopped, their business would stop. And so what you need to know with your burn rate is how much you're burning more than you're taking in each month. So if you're doing $10,000 a month in revenue but spending $11,000, your burn rate would be $1,000. Okay? if you're spending $20,000 and your revenue is $15,000, your burn rate would be $5,000. So knowing your burn rate, okay, and knowing how it has changed over the last year is important before you take on any additional debt. It is extremely important to understand that. And what you're burning and what gap you need to close. So what burn rate gap, so if it's $1,000, if it's $5,000, whatever your burn rate is, understanding that so we can work on closing it, so we can look at all the things that are happening. Maybe we could go renegotiate your lease. Maybe we could look at other expenses. Maybe there could be a shift in payroll. I don't know. Maybe there's a number of things depending on how big the burn is. How's the burn? Feel the burn. Okay, depending on what the burn rate is would depend on what you do. But you want to see a decline in burn from a year ago. And for most of you, that would be true. You were burning through a lot early on. You had landlords that weren't flexible. You had bills that had to be paid. You didn't know what else to do. You used your insurance policy. That's what it was there for. No problem with that. But before we take on another insurance policy, before we increase that cushion, I want you to understand what your real burn is and understand it by month. If you can explain that to me, I honestly have no problem with you taking additional funds and borrowing additional funds right now, because the SBA is the one that's lending. The other thing that we have to keep in mind is banks are not lending to small businesses. Okay, they have dried up and shut down lines of credit. They've done all sorts of things during this pandemic, but lending to small businesses is not one of them. You're not going to go to one of the big guys and get a small business loan right now. I can tell you that. So I want to make sure that you understand what that is and do that. And even if you're operating in the positive and you're saying, okay, I'm doing fine, I don't have a burn rate. We're actually, putting a little bit away each month because we're better than break even now, but it's just not much of a cushion. I used to have this much as a cushion. I don't have that anymore. And so I'd be okay with it, again, as an insurance policy, because this pandemic is not over. And so having that cushion is okay. Again, my biggest recommendation is don't go crazy with it. Don't take more than you need for a cushion, more than you need to sleep at night. Don't take, understand what you're agreeing to. Understand that on one over $200,000, you could be agreeing to your house, giving up your firstborn, your dog, everything to the SBA. Rose. So Rose is asking a great question. So, for example, your total loan was $75,000 and you wanted to sell the business or ended up having to file bankruptcy. What would happen? Okay, to be able to sell the business, you'd have to have enough to cover the loan. Okay, or get a release from the SBA releasing you and taking the other person who's buying the business, taking over that debt. But most likely, you'd have to pay off the loan to be able to sell the business. If you were to sell the business, if the business were to file bankruptcy, the loan would be discharged for an LLC or S corp. It would not be discharged if it was sole proprietor. They may look to any personal assets as they would because the business is you. But on an LLC or an S corp or C corp, the loan would be discharged in bankruptcy. A lot of them are going to be discharged in bankruptcy. The SBA knows this. Okay, the government knows this when they're making these loans. But again, it's trying to keep everybody alive through this. And a lot of you are stronger coming out and going to be stronger coming out of this. I'm convinced of it. But having that cushion can help you get the rest of the way there. That is correct, Rose. A S corp owner would not personally be responsible for the payment, but you wouldn't be able to sell the business without the SBA's okay or discharging the loan first, because the SBA would have a lien against the business. They file a UCC claim, which is just like a regular lien like you would have on your car or on your house against the business that would prevent the business from being sold. So just know that. But the SBA is going to see lots of those. But having a little bit more, if it helps you sleep at night is okay, but you have to understand your burn rate. And you can't just be guessing at it. You need to know, because you should also feel the success of reducing your burn rate. Okay, I know a lot of you burn through this early on, okay, and don't have the burn, even though the loan's gone, even though you've used up the money, the rate of loan burn is not there. Okay, you're not like negative thousands a month, or tens of thousands each month. Your burn rate has gone down each and every month. But you need to know that, because that's your success path. Because as your burn rate goes from negative burn to that you're gaining money, that's how you snowball out of this debt and get rid of it. So that's why that is so important. But I'm happy to talk anybody one-on-one with their individual situation. You know that I am a no judgment zone. I understand what everybody's up against. And I understand we did not all come into this pandemic equally. We will not all walk out of it equally. We didn't all walk in with the same set of circumstances. It is tough decisions to make. It's tough decisions, but if you understand them, if you understand where you are and where you're going, and I'm seeing the good stuff on a nationwide basis. I am seeing some phenomenal sales trends on a national basis. You're seeing, Rose, in your own store just this week what happens when people feel better and want to get vaccinated. You're seeing those sales. And that based on what I have seen just in the rough, without having a direct conversation about your business, it is what you're going to see more of, okay? Based on what I'm seeing. So just be aware of that and understand where everybody is, okay? And understand that the 200,000 isn't a 200,000 additional. It is when you hit the $200,000 mark of SBA loan, it triggers the personal guarantee. So if you got 100,000 before and you get $125,000 now on an item, it's not you have one loan for 100,000 and one loan for 125,000. You now have a loan for $225,000, and that triggers the personal guarantee. So just keep that in mind as you make these decisions, and know that I'm here for you. I'll answer any questions you have about your situation and look at it, but burn rate is the figure to look at. So that real letter will go up in the NARTS private Facebook group shortly. It'll be over at narts.org/resalestrong by noon tomorrow. I'm going to give Adele a workout tonight with all the things I'm posting. Giving quite the workout tonight. So lastly on the SBA front tonight is, many of you have asked, what do I currently owe? I don't even know what I currently owe with interest in the last year. I know Neil's thrown out some numbers, so much per thousand, blah, blah, blah. It's just blah, blah, blah. What do I really owe? How do I find that out? You go to what is called the SBA's Capital Access Financial System. CAFS, CAFS, the Capital Access Financial System. It looks like this. And a link will be up in the NARTS private Facebook page and over at narts.org/resalestrong by noon tomorrow. You create an account in the CAFS system. Thanks, Adele. Yes, it does help for all our members. The Capital Access Financial System is where you will create an account. you will enter your personal information, because even though you may not have a personal guarantee on your loans, the SBA still has your social security number and your information as the signer for the company. And so you go and you create this account in the CAFS system. Now, a couple of intricacies with the CAFS system. The password you create has to be 12 characters long. 12 characters long, and has to be upper, lower, numbers, and you can use a special character. 12 characters long, your password has to be. Okay, getting that right was the longest part of setting up my login in the CAFS system. But once you are set up in the system, you can log in and you can see your economic injury disaster loan. You'll actually be able to see any PPPs that haven't been forgiven as well. Okay, but you will see those loans in the CAFS system. Yeah, I know, 12 characters. I was setting this up today. I was walking through all this so that I could do it, talk about it. And I'm going back and forth with some of my contacts at the SBA. I'm like, really? 12 characters? I think even somebody, that's going to get stolen because it's going to be on a sticky on your computer. Let's just be real with this. Let's just be real. 12 characters long and ridiculous combination. But once you get in there, you can see your EIDL loan each and every day. You can see its current balance, everything. You can do everything but make a payment from there. But you can see your EIDL loan. You can see when your payment is due. You can see what your current balance with interest is, everything. You can see it right there. So that is a great tool. The Capital Access Financial System. It looks like this. Link going up shortly in the NARTS private Facebook group. It'll be up in narts.org/resalestrong by noon tomorrow. So some of you, now that you know what you owe, want to make a payment on your EIDL loan. Well, funny, you should ask. That requires you to go to pay.gov. Pay.gov. Okay, and there at pay.gov, you can log in, create how you're going to pay the government. The government will take your payments any way you want to give it to them. Bank transfer, credit card, whatever you want to do, it will take your payment in pay.gov, and it will apply to your loan. It will not, pay.gov will not show you your loan balance. It will not show you anything. It allows you several days. In pay.gov, you then have to go to the 1201 form. The 1201 form is how you make a payment to the SBA. Once you have the account in pay.gov, you go into pay.gov, you set up an account, you set up your banking information of how you're going to make payments, and then you go to form 1201. 1201 is to make a payment to the Small Business Administration. And you fill out on form 1201 your loan number, not your application number, your actual loan number, okay, is what goes on pay.gov, is what you're entering on the 1201 form is your loan number. You can get your loan number from the Capital Access Financial System. From here, you can get your loan number. It has your loan number and your application number. But in here, your loan number is what you enter on pay.gov. Pay.gov wants your loan number. You enter that, you're in. It requires a smaller password, but it was still, I forget the format for it. It wasn't as notable as the Capital Access Financial System. It's 12-digit password. Pay.gov was something. I mean, both these systems. So you have to create an account in both. Okay, but you create an account in both of those, and then you are able to make your payment, and you're able to see your payment apply over in the Capital Access Financial System. So lots of government systems, lots of things. Now, what am I recommending? Because some of you are at a point that you feel like you have a good cushion. Others don't. If you're able to, I recommend paying something. Okay, at least keep up the interest on it if you can, is what I'm recommending. But what I'm ultimately recommending for those of you that want to pay off your EIDL, I'm recommending that you still have a good cushion. So paying off, if you haven't gotten the EIDL Advance, do not pay off your EIDL. Okay, if you're going to end up being eligible for the EIDL Advance, do not completely pay off your EIDL loan. You will not get the EIDL Advance. If you want to pay it off, I'm still suggesting hanging on to some cash unless you have equivalent other cushions. So hanging on to $50,000. If you had a $150,000 loan, paying off $50,000 of it, paying off $100,000, keeping some portion of that cushion, because again, banks are not lending. So if you came into another problem, if we had the COVID-20 virus, if something happened, this is not over yet. And when you read about new lockdowns in Canada, you have to remember that this isn't over yet. No, they haven't distributed vaccines the same way we have in the US, but this is not over yet. So this isn't boat money, and I don't want to encourage debt, and I don't want to encourage buying a boat, but I do want to encourage safety. And safety is that little cushion sitting off to the side. It's an insurance policy against bad things happening. If you have the cushion, less bad things will happen to you. If you don't have the cushion, more bad things will happen to you. Okay, so that is all I am encouraging with it. So that is why I'm saying don't give all your money back to the government, because you may, if you needed it, you may not get it again. So that is my thing on that. All of these files will be posted in the NARTS private Facebook group tonight. Adele, please get some sleep tonight. Don't stay up all night recreating all of this. Tomorrow's another day. But it will also, let's be real, we all know Adele will get this all over to it, narts.org/resale strong, so it's there for everybody. Because this is how you help through. You also know that I'm here to answer any of your questions on it, because I am sure you will have some. After you've slept on this tonight, you will have new questions. And that's what I'm here for. That's why we made this an all SBA Thursday night. But everything that I've talked about, this video and everything that I've talked about, all the files, every single one of them, will be over at narts.org/resale strong by noon tomorrow. Noon tomorrow, they'll all be there. The Capital Access Financial .gov, the real letters, the fake letters, they will all be there by noon tomorrow. You can count on that. But if you have and a direct link to these videos, and the YouTube video tonight was all the way through, so that's complete. A direct link to the YouTube video on the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and yes, you get to ring the bell. Who doesn't want to ring the bell? It's going to be almost as popular as the pink calculator that just went flying across the room. So that you know when a new one drops. You can also share it with everybody you know in business. Butcher, baker, candlestick maker, everybody you know in business, so we can help everybody get across the finish line, because that is what we're doing here. We're walking hand in hand with all our brothers and sisters in business across the finish line here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here every night at more 8 than ish live in the NARTS private Facebook group. But if you have a question, and broadcasting on YouTube, but if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com, N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com. Oh, thank you, Rose. Thank you. Always happy to help. Always happy to help. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Tonight, if you were not here at the top of the program, we're on page 58. Good morning. Take a breath. Then another. Repeat. Move at your own pace. You got this. Our good night tonight is good night. Take a breath. Then another. I don't like being told to take a breath. I'm just saying. Repeat. Shake off the day. Sweet dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party. A wedding, a bar mitzvah even. Hey, this whole COVID thing is over party. Woo! It's not over yet, but when it is, we will party. And we will party again, and we will party in person. And when we do, you know what? I'm going to be there with you. Yes, I will. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish, know that you and you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. It's time for dessert. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.